about 12 years ago, I adopted this grave. I found it in the very back corner of a cemetery, historic cemetery in Arlington, Texas. And you can see there's a long way. All this, I mean, it's way in the back, and there's not anyone buried anywhere close to it, except for this grave here. And the rest of the cemetery is pretty well, everyone's pretty close to each other, but she's way in the back, and this tree had grown over it. You couldn't even see it, and I cut it back, and I just came out here and cut it back a little bit and put some flowers there. Some moss has grown over it, making it hard to read, but she was a young lady of 21, Hannah Vandiver, and she died in 1901, early February 1901, after coming here to meet her husband. She was newlywed, and on the Iron Mountain train in Memphis, she caught smallpox and brought it to town, and her husband had to be quarantined, and she died almost immediately after getting to Arlington. And so she's here alone. Her family is buried elsewhere, and I'm the guy that remembers her, and I've done all this research on the internet to find out about her. And so there's someone that cares about her. Her husband, within a year, had gone on and married someone else, unfortunately, and I think he's buried. I think he died in 1926 in Oklahoma. There's some confusion. If you could read this, it says that it says she's the wife of R.F. Vandiver. And if you look up R.F. Vandiver, that's a much older man that's 40 years older than her, from her hometown. But I think what actually happened is this is the son of R.F. Vandiver. He came out to Texas and was using his father's name because I don't think he liked his name. I looked at a census, and R.F. Vandiver, he had all these children. One he named General and one he named Dump. So I think the son that was born about 1879, 1880 was named Dump, and maybe that's why he took on his father's name. He didn't want to, when he came out here to start a new life in Texas. Anyway, he brought his wife to be with him, and she didn't make it, but she's going to be taken care of and loved by somebody. And so I got these flowers and have just put them here, and just keeping the sun off, giving her a little sun. And that's one of the weird things I do, especially during the summer. I'm always out here making sure that her grave is taken care of. This is a very historic cemetery. Just remember, Hannah Vandiver, that you are loved and cared about by someone. And this cemetery has graves of people that are important to the town's founding. Schools, you'll see names of schools and streets, Cooper, Collins, Fielder, those are Davis. You'll see those names all around, and you'll see a lot of graves from 150 years ago. There used to be a lot of Confederate flags out here on the graves of Civil War soldiers. People don't do that much anymore. It's really a beautiful cemetery. I think this might be the Collins lot here. I'm probably wrong. Oh, there's Cooper. Cooper's one of the major streets here. So apparently it was an important family. So Sometimes you'll see these graves out here that are made to look like wood stumps. That died in 1912, born in 1884. It's Woodmen of the World. It's some kind of fraternal organization of people that cut down trees. This is a very festive one. This one's really taken care of. I'm not sure who this person was. It must be a little child. This is way in the back. This is the older part of the cemetery, and there is a section in the front that's more from modern times. Here's the Collins family. Oh, look at that. Some over there. There's a grave out here, a small child that died right at the turn of the century, into the 1900s, and the person that was carving was so used to carving dates in the 1800s because they'd done it all their career, and to chisel in 19 was a new thing at the beginning of the century. He puts I think the birth date is 1901 and the death date is 1801, and I guess they have the right dates but not the right year. I guess they didn't want to redo the gravestone, but there's a storm blowing in, so I thought I'd come out here and put those flowers here, and I'm off.